everyone. Take 2. Yes. Hopefully this time it's not going to be a pain because I have such good stuff here. Okay. First. Second. Third. Okay. Today I've got Kaweco Summer Purple. I know it is not summer. In fact, it is far from summer now. It's fall. And I probably should be using another autumnal ink, but I'm not. I wanted Summer Purple. So I have that. I have my trusty Sailor 1911 large size. Oh yes, this is, yes, casualties of inking. As always, I'm using my music nib because I really like it. Ain't it purty? Yes, it is. And a not often seen notebook. Now, these have been around for a while, but not everybody uses them or shows them. This is the Clairefontaine 1951 Clothbound notebook, and it's like a A5, and it has a staple-bound spine. Not Concord, no. It is music. And this is the lined version. I've already written the date, October 6th. I hope the video is nice and steady. It looks good on my end, but I'm not sure how it's coming across over there. So yes, as I said, I've already inked it. Is it still stalling? Hopefully it'll pick up. I don't know. It's like here. This is where you could write something. That is a spot that you could write. Now, Clairefontaine paper is quite fountain pen friendly, very pleasant to use. And usually I use coiled notebooks because I like to flip my pages back. But this one works. You can easily tuck it back. So, is this the 90-gram white-coated paper? Yes, it is. It is quite smooth. So if you have a very smooth fountain pen nib, especially of the broader nature, you may find you have skips. And another thing I find with this kind of paper, the coated stuff, it does pick up oil. So I try to write with something under my hand here. Okay. However, if you can avoid all that, you get a great fountain pen friendly writing experience. I don't find it too bad. Like, I don't have many issues with the paper. For the most part, it works quite well. And currently, all of my fountain pen nibs are tuned quite well, so I don't have any issues with like skipping or anything. That's the Summer Purple. It's a very, it is a purple, but it's kind of like a dusky purple, which I really like. I write the ink down. Kaweco. Oh, sorry, that was my error. I putting pressure on the nib. Okay, so here's a skip. Hello. Now, what I'm going to try and show you, this is really gross. I have recently moisturized my hands. So there are oils on my hands, and there I have touched the page like I've done like this. And so you can see that the ink kind of skipped over it with my fingerprint. Now, you may hate that. Maybe that's kind of annoying, but I mean, it just looks like nice shading, but I just thought I'd point it out to you. So it is Friday, or as the cool kids say, fry-yay. I'm trying to be trendy. There's so many new words that I just don't understand. Clairefontaine white is your favorite. I have to say this is nice stuff. My favorite, go-to notebook is the Rhodia dot pad, the number 16 size. So it's the same size as this, but I just really like dots. Ralph says he's had less trouble with coating on the Clairefontaine than on the normal 80-gram Rhodia. I have also had the opposite experience where my 80-gram is quite tolerant to most of my pens and uses. Those kids are not cool, and you're... thank you. Friday. Now, I know I rave about this music nib like every time I use it, but I really like it. It gives a touch of feedback, so it's not super polished, but it's still smooth, so it's not going to skip across your page. Pick on Ralph Day. Yes, let us all pick on Ralph. No, that's not nice. It really does depend on your ink, your writing style, your nibs. This nib is the music nib. I'm a huge fan of Sailor for several reasons. They make a whole bunch of colors in various models. And if you missed it, this is the 1911 large. And so you can get the standard size, which is a little bit smaller. You can get this. You can get the Pro Gear if you like flat tops. There's Pro Gear Slim. There's Pro Gear like the regular size. There's also the King of Pen in the 1911 and the Pro Gear. So honestly, there are just so many options that it's hard to go wrong with a Sailor. And they have 7 standard nibs, which is extra fine, medium, and then you can get the broad, zoom, and stub, music stub, sorry. So there are many options. So it's like, honestly, there's so much Sailor goodness that there's something out there for everyone. Now that I have raved about Sailor goodness, I will write Sailor. The feed is really nice. Yes, it is. It's very clean. I like the flatness of the feed. I don't know if you can see that. Like it's flat on the bottom. Some feeds are like rounded out. Yes, I mean, unless I'm really smearing ink on a Rhodia, which I'm going to do right now, although this is Clairefontaine, I don't get bleed through either. When I do ink reviews on the Rhodia dot pad, and it really takes a lot of ink to smear it around. Smear it around. Once I've smeared it around, it takes a lot of ink to bleed through the page. Isn't that a pretty color? I find that a lot of people are always looking for like the perfect purple, and I really like this one. It's a very nice, like soft purple. It's not super intense. It has nice shading. SPRA Brown asks, is there a music zoom naginata togi? Oh my goodness. I don't even know how that would work. So if you're unfamiliar with the modern music nibs, typically a music nib has 2 slits and 3 tines, because what they have tried to achieve is to give you a really wet, stubby line, and the 2 slits allow more ink flow so that it can keep up with I guess music note writing, but just general writing. But Sailor has managed to make a 1 slit 2 tine nib, music nib, and it's quite juicy. I wouldn't call it a gusher, but mine is unaltered. And I mean, it's wet, but it's not a gusher. So I mean, I think the ink dries in a reasonable amount of time. So it's very usable for regular daily writing. Quite often you'll see the vintage music nibs that have 2 slits, 3 tines as well, but those are flexible. So the thing to remember here is that the Sailor nib, although in this case, the large is 21 carats, it is not a flex nib. If you put pressure on it, you can get a touch of variation out of it, but just because it's gold does not mean it's flexible. It is just a juicy stub. Yes, it is. It's a juicy stub. And again, if you're looking for a nib to make your handwriting look cooler than you think it is already, this is a great one. It just forces a line variation, so no matter what you do, it's just going to look a little bit better. Now, I'm just writing random words, obviously. Hello, it is Friday. Or Friday. Okay, let's take a look at this ink. What do you think of the ink? It's very pretty. And again, I find that not only is this notebook not really spoken of much, but the Kaweco inks are not raved about, even though they're very pretty. I think they're quite attractive colors. Imagine a super broad nib with 4 tines. Yes, I think that would be very interesting. Ralph says what he likes about the Sailor music is that it seems to provide line variation from any angle. Yeah, it does. It has a pretty, it's kind of like a box of tipping this way, so it does give a nice variation no matter what you do. Okay, I'm going to turn the page so we can take a look at the show through. Now remember, this is a pretty wet pen. So if you're using something like an extra fine, it's going to be very, very minimal show through. So the show through is moderate, but definitely you can use the back side of the page. The beginnings of bleed through here is where I actually scratched into the page with the nib itself. So I actually cut the page a bit when I was trying to smear some ink around. So other than that, looks pretty good. I'm going to play around on the back side now. How is everyone's Friday going? I mean, over here, it's 11:12 a.m. Eastern. So, I mean, there's still a whole day left to go. I'm running low on inked pens, which means I'm probably going to have like an inking session soon. Oh, that is a horrible F. Now, you may have noticed in my live videos that I rarely pay attention to the lines because I don't pay attention to lines. But this is why I like dots more, is because you have a bit more freedom. I see someone has signed in with the name Pickled Crabs, and that's hilarious. I just imagining what a pickled crab tastes like. 4:12 p.m. in the UK. Oh, your day's wrapping up, which means it's almost weekend. Weekend. Woohoo! I think if you're looking for our first pen, you can do worse than having one of these. Although I really like the blue. And I hope they come out with more colors like pink and purple and other such brightness. But you see the fun of the music nib, it makes everything look great. So even if I'm doing horrible handwritings, terrible English. Even if my handwriting is terrible at the time, it still looks pretty good. And there's some of the line variation you get. Yes, this nib is a bit chatty. Doesn't squeak, but there's definite feedback there. It's not scratchy either. Okay, I'm gonna write meow. Anyway, that pretty much wraps up my planned fun for the day. I just wanted to ink this up and show it off. They kind of match, right? Like the purple kind of matches the pen. Hello, everyone who is new. Hello. Thank you all for joining for this Inkspiration. It is Inktober, and today's prompt, I believe, was for a sword. So before I leave, I'm going to, oh my goodness, I don't know how to draw a sword, people. Help me out here. Okay, so it has like a handle. and then maybe the little like guard, and then there we go. Inktober. Yes. I'm gonna hashtag that. Inktober. Magnificent. How smooth is the nib? Is it super smooth like Pelican or... No, it doesn't have as much feedback as an Aurora. Definitely not. I think Aurora has the most feedback of a well-adjusted nib that I've ever used. So Sailor nibs are smoother than Aurora. Anyway. Here is what I have used. I will add images and links if you're interested in checking them out. Yes, the Fresca Blue is only a North American exclusive, but we have free shipping to the UK, over $250 now, so you could check it out. Just saying, just tossing that out there if you really want a Fresca. All right. Thank you again, everyone, for joining, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.